everybody, JC here from Toy News International. And with Toy Fair now behind us, I thought I would put together today this list of the 5 action figures that I saw at the event last month in New York City. The 5 that basically I'm looking forward to the most. So this list isn't necessarily saying these are the 5 best things that were on display at Toy Fair. This is just the 5 things that kind of appealed to me. So a lot of just personal things that like I wanted to add to my own collection. So again, don't take this as necessarily saying there wasn't anything better than these 5 things at Toy Fair, but I wanted to share with you guys the things that I'm looking forward to the most, because Toy Fair basically, if you're not familiar, is where the toy companies show off all the new products and everything for the year. And so these were the 5 things that kind of stood out to me that I'm looking forward to adding to my collection this year. So starting off at number 5, I went with the Mortal Kombat 112 scale Shao Kahn figure from Storm Collectibles. So this was on display at the Bluefin distributor booth. I've already reviewed 2 of their Mortal Kombat figures, the Sub-Zero and the Scorpion figures, and those 2 figures really did impress me. I really like the detail on those and the posability, the articulation, and you even get pretty cool accessories. And so when I saw this figure, and this figure I believe was actually on display at San Diego Comic-Con. I didn't get a good look at it there, but I did at Toy Fair, and I was definitely impressed by it, the size of it, the detail, and then the throne. Now, I'm not entirely sure if that throne that was on display with the figure will be included with it. I asked a couple people there. Unfortunately, as I said, this was on display at the Bluefin distributor booth, and I didn't have somebody directly at Storm Collectibles to talk to there. So I kind of got some vague answers. One person indicated it should and the other didn't. So again, I'm not 100% clear if that throne will be included, but I certainly hope so, because it definitely rounds out the figure and will make a nice set if they include it as like a deluxe figure type thing. Number 4 was the Mezco 112 Collective Iron Man figure. So I think this is by far the best looking 112 Collective figure that we've seen in this line, especially for Marvel. Now, the thing that makes this figure unique is it doesn't actually incorporate any cloth material, which is kind of like the set standard for the 112 Collective line, mainly because he's wearing a suit of armor, so cloth just really wouldn't work at all with this. And so I'm really glad that Mezco found a way to make this figure without having to include cloth on it, because like I said, in this particular case, I don't think it would have worked at all. But I love the sculpting detail, I love the look of the overall figure. It's based on the classic armor design for Iron Man. You're going to get lots of cool things like blast effects and repulsor effects and a figure stand, and you even get a removable faceplate that'll attach with like a magnet, and so I'm just really impressed with this figure. Number 3, I'm putting on my list the DC Multiverse Collect and Connect 6-inch scale Clayface figure. So with a lot of these Multiverse figures, it's kind of hit and miss. I think some are good, some are not so good. But I think lately with their Collect and Connect figures, like the King Shark figure, I think looks really nice. And then this Clayface figure, which made its debut at Toy Fair, I think looked fantastic. If you're a fan of Clayface, then I think this is one you're definitely going to want to add to your collection. It was sculpted by the 4 Horsemen, and then you're going to get alternate hands, so you get the bladed hand. So I definitely am looking forward to that one. And the figures in the wave that you have to get actually look pretty good as well. But that Collect and Connect figure, just like with the King Shark, I think Mattel did a really nice job with it, and that's why it's number 3 on my list. Number 2, we stick with DC, this time with DC Collectibles though. Their new Icon Superman vs. Doomsday set. This again was kind of a nice surprise that we saw. I talked with the folks at DC Collectibles, and the feeling I got is they kind of want to move in this direction with this line, with doing these kind of diorama scene type sets. I mean, not that they're going to get rid of the single carded figures, but I think like as far as like the accessory packs go, I think instead of doing more of those, I think they'd like to do sets like this that are chocked full of accessories and everything, but also have the 2 figures and the diorama base and everything. So I think that's what they're kind of testing here, to kind of replace those accessory packs. And definitely, the Doomsday figure looked great. The scale on the figure looked really nice. And then all the add-ons that you get for Superman, the 3 different head sculpts, the heat vision, and then you get the little, like, his tattered cape on the flagpole, and the fist with the cape and everything, Doomsday's fist. So really liking this set, and basically this is to pay tribute to the classic Death of Superman storyline. And I think, if you're a fan of Doomsday, you're definitely going to want to check this set out, and definitely impressed me, and looking forward to adding it to my own collection. Then finally, number one comes with the Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends are one of my favorite lines, so it's no big surprise that one of the figures from that line makes my number one spot. And with it is the Netflix Daredevil. Now, honestly, I could really include the entire line of Netflix figures that Hasbro showed. I was really impressed with all four figures: the Punisher, Elektra, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil. But if I had to narrow it down to just one, I think, just because I think he's the coolest looking character of the bunch, I would go with the Daredevil figure. And we're actually getting multiple Netflix Daredevil figures from various companies. But Hasbro, again, just because Marvel Legends is kind of my favorite line, is the one I'm going with as my favorite figure. Now, I do hope that it wasn't said or anything, and certainly they didn't have one on hand, but I do hope that maybe they end up including an unmasked Daredevil head with this figure. I think that would be really cool if we could get an unmasked head. I know, like, the Diamond Select version, the Marvel Select 7-inch scale figure will have an unmasked head, so I kind of hope that Hasbro matches that and gives us a 6-inch version. But even still, I thought the figure looked really good. I love the look of the costume and everything, and really looking forward to adding all the Netflix figures with my Marvel Cinematic Movie figures and put those on display. So that's my number one. Now, I did have a couple honorable mentions that I was tempted to add to the list. One was the Mattel Batmobile from the Justice League movie. Now, this really isn't an action figure, which is why I didn't include it in this list. But that Batmobile really, I thought, was cool with all the features, the electronic features and remote control features and everything. And this is said to be for 6-inch scale figures, so, nice detail and everything. So that was a nice surprise from Mattel. I wasn't really expecting something that elaborate from them. And from what I saw and everything, I think it's going to be very cool. And then the other one is more of a nostalgia. This is kind of an honorable mention for nostalgia purposes, but it was that Usagi Yojimbo figure from Playmates, the basic one, in his traditional blue outfit. I was always a fan of the Samurai Rabbit as a kid, and so I'm glad to see that he's going to be included in the new season of the cartoon, and that he's getting an updated action figure and everything. So looking forward to that one. So that's it. Definitely, I would love to hear from you guys. What did you like most at Toy Fair from all the coverage and everything? What are you looking forward to adding to your collection this year? Please let me know in the comments section below. And until next time, guys, I will catch you later.